So I'm very excited to say that this episode is brought to you by XL EQ. I'm very thankful to be sponsored by XL Supplements Canada. The quality of the product is bar none the best I've seen. The consistency of the product is amazing. The horses absolutely love it. I mean, that's one thing that they're standing here at the doors waiting for their XL oil. And then the coat and the shine and the fitness and the way that they stay sound, it's really a no-brainer for me.
Two things going on today. One, I've got a brand new lapel mic, so we're gonna have some fun with the sound. I think you guys are gonna like the sound. I wanna really practice. It's interesting how much mental focus it takes to play this game, at least for me. Maybe it's just because I'm slow or I'm not real bright. I don't know. But it takes me so much mental focus to get it right, to really stay focused on that feel and have a feel for what I need from the horse, that not having perfect sound was just enough to sometimes get in my head a little bit, you know? So I'm excited about this new lapel mic. Secondly, this is a 4-year-old mare that I'm hoping to take to Region 17. This is an Arabian mare that's bred and raised by Petra Dries and her daughter Leona. She's been here for quite a while now, and I'm really starting to get some feel from this horse. She's able to get the turn, but I like putting my head down and working on one and maybe talking about it as I go. So I think what I'm going to do today is work on this horse a little bit and talk to you guys as I go. And I don't know that I really have a good plan for this. You're going to have to stay through the whole video and kind of watch, because I'm going to work on the turnaround with this mare, and I feel like she's not finished yet. She's still figuring it out. We're just getting started on showing this horse. She's still in the snaffle. I'm still tidying things up and trying to get it real honest. Make sure I can really trust her when I pull the brakes, you know. Make sure I can trust her when I ask for that turn, you know. So this is going to be a little bit more hands-on as I go through just what comes up as I'm working with this horse. It's a, you know, kind of a 15-minute watch me work on this horse and see what we get. So you may see some exercises that I haven't talked about. You may watch this horse do things that I didn't plan on, and I think that's a little bit of the honest, raw, open style that I am. I mean, I'm not doing anything here that you guys couldn't come and watch. And you know, so when this horse, you know, struggles a little bit, or if it's got a little something in there that, you know, it's not quite locked in, at least we're going to get to see it, and hopefully I can talk you guys through it a little bit, so that you see, you know, it doesn't always go perfect here either. Horses at this level are starting to get really cool, and they got a lot of natural talent, but there's times when they're a little confused, or they don't quite understand, or they don't have the miles under them yet to really stay committed to it the way that they need to. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to come up, but let's have a little fun with Honey here, and we'll see what happens. So this mare's got a pretty good turnaround on her already. I'm really happy with the shape. I'm really happy with her try. She's a little better to the right than to the left. She doesn't commit quite as good left, and that's just, you know, horses are different one way to the other. I have talked a lot about it, but the turn's really, you know, just kind of 2 steps for me. You know, they have to go forward, and when you take your hands across, they have to work to get their shoulders underneath your hands, and they just got to get their feet around, okay? But there's only 2 steps in the front. And they got to stay in that rhythm, you know? So I guess at some point I'm trying to find that rhythm. I don't want to spur on that horse and chase it around and dig on it too much, but I do want it to find its own, you know, balance, and it's got to keep its back up and kind of stay in that shape. So I'm going to step her forward a little bit, and I'll just get to the point where when I drag on her, you know, and touch the outside of her face, I want her to get her feet around. Now, if she loses her rhythm, I think I got to take this horse out and jog on it a little bit and see if we can't see how she's kind of stuck there. We're going to get a little more rhythm to this horse. to the left and just chase it up there a little bit. There we go. Get it up there a little bit. See if we can't get her to commit a little more to the left. And I'm staying light with my hands and just kind of the back of my right leg against this horse's belly. And I reach back a little bit and I make sure she stays up and forward. I don't want her to suck back against my right leg. If she stops moving forward, I'm gonna cluck to her a little bit. Now I'm gonna slide my foot forward. See if she can find a little more rhythm. It's not the greatest. You know, she's kind of struggling a little bit there. So I'm gonna take her back out. I feel like because she's not stepping around real good with that right front leg, we got to get that right front leg to step around a little more. So I'm going to pick up a little more on this right leg. Pick up on the right side of her face. Try to get her to want to go forward there and be a little bit looser at that point. Now when I pick up my right rein, I want her to stay in that turn. That's better already. I'm going to walk her out of there and reward her forward and around to the left there. She can stretch down and be there. Let her catch her air a little bit. I like the end of that turn when I picked up that outside rein. You see, because it doesn't matter if you're going to show this horse one-handed or two-handed. You got to kind of think about it the same, you know, because all these reiners at some point they're going to go one-handed. She has the opportunity to be shown in a snaffle bit futurity down in Scottsdale and in Vegas and places like that. So I have the opportunity to show this horse as a 4 or a 5-year-old or both in two hands in the snaffle. But at some point she's still going to be an open horse and she's still going to have to come off that outside rein and understand that when I take my hand across, she's got to figure out how to get her feet around. See, and when I touch the outside of her face, she's got to get that right leg around. Now, she lost it a little bit at the end, so I'm going to go back there and say, you want to kind of jump out of there? That's okay. But then your life's going to get a little more difficult. You got to work a little harder. And when she gives me her neck like that and wants to be loose and forward, see there, she gets a little stuck. When she gets down there loose and forward, I try really hard to release the pressure, kind of reward her for being down there, you know. There we go. Now I'm going to bring my leg forward. Cluck. If she finds that rhythm, there it is. Now if I pick up my right hand, yeah, she lost it at the end, so we're going to send her back out there. If she can't stay committed, she has to go back to work. Don't lope, just jog, because the turnaround is not a lope around. Reward her for getting up and forward. Keep my left hand off a little bit. Forward, 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 forward. Don't get stuck. There we go. Now we're going to ask again. Pick up my right hand, draw on her a little bit. Two. That's a little better rhythm. We're going to walk her out again, make sure she steps around to the left and gets that release down there. Because you want to pick up that right rein and have her want to go forward and around. Otherwise she gets to sucking back, you see. See, again, she lost that rhythm. I'm going to just help her find it. There it is. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. She's got to get up a little more, forward a little more. There we go. You'll see that outside front leg. When I put my right leg on, see it step, 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 step. Good. Now we're going to ask her again. Let her find it. Be patient. Pick up that right rein. Ask again. Get out there. Forward. Pick up that right rein. Forward, 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 forward. Now you'll find she's stepping out with the left front leg probably a little too much. So I'll show you something here in a second. Next time finished with this next turn, I'll show you an exercise that sometimes helps get that inside leg out of the way. There we go. Pick up that right rein, a little bit of outside right leg. Oh, that's better rhythm. Push her up there forward and around. Let her go. So sometimes you'll find as they're turning, they step out too far with that inside front leg, and then the outside one has to kind of get around it, especially in the beginning when I ask her to turn. She tends to be a little over here, and she's got to figure out how to get around like that. So an exercise I use a lot of times just to fix that little bit is I'll pick up on that rein and I'll put my left leg on, and I'll just kind of back that horse up and away. So as I lift this left rein, she has to lift that left front leg and get it back underneath my stirrup. You see, I'm not kicking on her too much. I'm just going to draw. There, I'm pretty light. She's got to go back. See, she got really stuck there. So she's got to go back and lift that. There. Now when I feel like I've got some good rhythm there and I'm lifting that shoulder, now I'm going to ask her to start that turn. And you see how she gets that inside leg out of the way a little better. Just helps her find a little bit of that shape. You can do that again. You just pick up on that inside rein, back that horse out of the way, back and turn. If they fight you, just wait for them. Just be patient. Don't pull on it too much, you know. Just get it patient there, patient. Back that inside front leg out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. Let her find it. If she gets to backing up, being all bent, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. Now we're going to open up. And that starts to get kind of fancy looking. And again, this is a 4-year-old Arab that I'm really having a lot of fun with, you know, starting to get her really broke. She's got a great shape. She's got lots of power and ability. We'll go, we'll go back her off a little bit on this right rein, right leg too, and see if we can't shape up that right turnaround. Like I said, she struggles a little more going left, you know, she just has got to figure out where to put her feet. So I try to be a little patient with her there. You know, but if she wants to leave, I'm trying really hard not to stay in her face and hold her in that turn. I want to make it real simple. I just kind of pull that thing around and kind of let her know that as long as she keeps her feet underneath my hands, you see, if I go like that and take my hand, she's just got to get her feet back underneath my hand, you see? And then I'll leave her alone, kind of like that. She doesn't have to do a lot. She just needs to know that when I take my hand, you know, if I take my hand this way, she's just got to get her feet back underneath my hand. And there she kind of, see, we worked on the left for a little bit. So now she's going to argue with me over here. So we'll go here and we'll just push her up a little bit. So here, get up over there. Try to get that forward. You know. Get her up off that left leg. Open up. She want to turn now. It's pretty solid. Go forward, release her around to the left. When she gets soft, I don't want her to rush there, but when she gets soft, there. Let her know, over here, you get a break. Over here, you get a break. So that turn there was a little bit clunky as well. You know, just in the beginning, she's a little bit stuck out there. So I think we're gonna do the same thing here. We're just gonna take that horse and we're just really patient. Back of my jeans against her right rib cage. Just make sure when I touch her right side of her face, she can get that right front leg, up underneath that stirrup and kind of have a rhythm to it, you know. You can see she's struggling a little bit, struggling a little bit, struggling a little bit. There we go, there we go, there we go. Draw again. I didn't ask her to slow down there. Push her a little more. Push her a little more. There, now I'm going to take that right leg off, draw my hands around. She's lost a little bit of that rhythm, I'd say. Seeing shit when I go to push on her, she doesn't really step out there either. So you're playing a balance game, you know. You can get them too sucked back, and then they start to not really cross over good. Or you can get them too hung out there, and then they start to hop around because they're trying to run around that inside front leg. There we go. Gonna release her around to the right. Clock. Leave her alone. Oh. That's pretty good. I'm using the back of my jeans there on the outside a little bit at the end, but I like how she kind of stays in that frame and figures that out. So now I'm gonna go back there again, my right rein, right leg. See how she resists there just a little bit. So I'm gonna just try to get rid of that resistance and drawing back, coming back. She doesn't have to go fast either. You see she's kind of hurrying. I'm not really pushing on her that much. I'm barely asking her, and she's almost trying a little too hard. So I'm gonna get her just a little more tired, get her to slow down just a hair. And then we're gonna come back around. Oh. You see, and we just keep her moving. Keep her moving. Go back over here. Go back to that outside. Get her up there. She says, I don't really want to go. I don't want to leave the turn, actually, to be honest with you. Oh. That I would say is enough effort for this mare today. I kind of like that. So I'll play that game, you know, and you see I'm in like a 20-foot circle here. I didn't go a lot of places. You know, I'll play that game a little bit where I'm just making sure, see there's that economy of motion, right? So if this foot steps out first and the outside leg has to go around it, you really start to get that hopping sort of deal, you know? What I'd like is for this horse to step with that inside hind leg out of the way and come straight across with the outside leg. So you're playing that game where you have to go to the outside rein, the outside leg, and you got to chase them around a little bit, make sure they really have some try from their shoulders, but then you also got to play the opposite side of it where you make sure that they're not just out here scrambling around with their front feet. So it's kind of a different style. We haven't done that, but I'm really excited about the microphone thing, and I think I can really focus on talking and doing this stuff and helping you guys see what it is that I do every day. It's not going to be fantastic, you know, spectacular all the time, but it's real raw and real, and it is who I am, and it is what I do every day. I like this horse a lot. She didn't give me any trouble today. We just got to tune a few things up, and we'll be ready to go show. So thank you guys very much. Like, subscribe. Let me know if you like the new style. I mean, I keep messing around. We keep trying to improve things. You know, the style changes a little bit every time I have a new idea, and I just want to do the best for you guys, and, you know, you got to help me out with that one.